right, so mobility day 2. We're gonna get started with some runner's lunge, inside outside arm openers. This is gonna allow for our thoracic spine to open as well as our hips. So we're gonna get started with those right now. We're gonna do 10 on each side, using each leg. So we're gonna come up into runner's lunge. Inhale, arm up. Exhale, back down. 1. Pushing out of the left arm. 2. Make sure your back leg is strong. 8, so I'm flexing this left quad. Inhaling, reaching up. 9. Last one, we're gonna hold for a count of 10. Inhale, left arm, right arm up. And 10. Good. Now we're gonna switch sides, pushing through this right arm now. Inhale, left arm up. Back left leg stays strong. 1. Come back down. We hold for a count of 10. And down. Now we're going to switch out the legs. So make sure the back leg, the heel is high, leg is strong. 90-degree bend, stacking the knee. And we go inside, arm up. And 10. Switching arms. Holding. And 10. Good. Step back. Take child's pose just for a second to release the back. Coming up, to keep going with the shoulders, we're going to grab a band, and then we're going to do shoulder reaches. You could also do this with the broomstick. Just really try to reach out really wide, so that way the shoulders can stay lifted. Pull your ribs in, stay strong. Coming all the way around. Reach up through your shoulders. Remember to keep the ribs in, so pulling this in the whole time instead of arching. We're going to do 20. So we're at 8, 9, 10, squeezing your glutes. Reaching up through my shoulders, then bringing it down. Reach up through the shoulders, bringing it back around. One more after this. And done. Now we're gonna take this into a shoulder stretch. So I'm gonna bend my arm, making sure that everything stays parallel. I'm gonna do this on the ground. I need to make sure the elbow and the shoulder and the pec stay in alignment. So I'm gonna lay down. Now I'm bending my knees only because that there's a wall here. So I'm gonna come here and then I'm gonna roll over to that side. You can do with bent legs or straight legs. I'm gonna keep my head on the ground. I'm gonna use the left hand to push to open up more into that shoulder. Again, everything needs to stay in alignment. Shoulder, elbow, we're gonna stay here breathing. 1 minute. So I'm really pushing down through this right shoulder. As I twist, I can stack my knees like I'm doing on the side of my right hip. I can push through this left arm a little bit more. And we're gonna switch sides. So again, I reach my left arm out, bending at a 90 degree. I'm gonna roll over onto this left hip. I'm gonna push through this right hand, pushing my left shoulder down, left elbow down, left palm down. Just like 4 more breaths, pushing through this arm. We're almost done here. And then come on out. We're gonna press ourselves up. We're gonna come back to child's pose just for a second to give that back a little rest. Then from here, I'm gonna grab maybe like 2 blocks if you got those 2 blocks. You could also use chairs, like 2 chairs on either side of you. We're gonna go into a lunge position. So I'm gonna step my right leg forward, my left leg back. I'm gonna sit up nice and tall. I'm gonna squeeze my left glute, pushing my hip slightly forward, but I'm tucking the pelvis under, posterior tilt. I'm gonna stay here for about a count of 5. Really driving down to that back left leg. Then I'm gonna inhale, pulling everything back so I can rotate the blocks back, or hands can stay back, and I'm driving down, flexing my toes back towards my nose, pulling my right hip back. 5 seconds. Then I'm gonna bend back in, press back down, lift back up, squeeze the glute, press, getting through that front left hip. Arms are down, reaching down. Hands can be on blocks if this is too intense. Coming back, I'm gonna slowly drive my hip back, taking that hamstring stretch. We're gonna do this 3 more times, so 5 times, 5 seconds each time, so it's about 25 seconds. Working through this on each way. Coming back in, bend back into that right knee, squeeze your glute, ribs in, arms up. If you wanted to add on, you could take the arms up here adding a little bit more length, but they're not just lifting, they're reaching. Hands come down, heel pulls back. Obviously, we're gonna do everything that we do in this video 3 times. I only record it once, but then you're just gonna restart and do everything over again, taking it through 3 times, which will be an hour. Coming back forward, squeeze glute, come back up. Slowly, hands come down, pull the hip back, hamstring. Last time, holding it here. Bend back in, come back up. You're gonna slowly step right leg back. Left leg's gonna come forward. Press down through that back right shin, squeeze your glutes. So bending a little deeper into this left knee, stacking the ankle, squeezing my right glute cheek, lifting, arms by my sides. Hands frame the foot, then I'm gonna pull that left heel back, driving down through the heel, flexing the toes back to my nose, pulling my hips in alignment, maybe sliding my left hip out to the left side a little bit more if I feel like I'm rocking all the way over onto my right shin. Then I'm gonna bend back in, squeeze the glutes as I rise up. This is number 2. Hands come down, pull the heel back again. You can put your hands on blocks if this is too intense for you. Elevating the blocks to any height that helps you get back into this. Feeling the stretch through here. I'm not sitting on the shin. Bend back into the knee. We got 3 more times. That was number 2. Hands come down, pull the heel back, drive down through the leg, flex your left quadricep. Try to keep this leg strong as you're pulling the hip back. Bend back in, squeeze glute, lift up. Last time, bring the hands to the ground, pull the heel back. Bend back in, squeeze glute. Slowly step back. Now take a quick child's pose, sending the hips back, reaching the arms forward. Alright, so from here, with a little bit of space that I have, we're going to do plank to down dog opposite arm taps. So what's going to happen, and you could do these on blocks as well to elevate you higher. So I'll do the first few on blocks. So I'm in high plank, I'm pushing up out of my back, squeezing my glutes. I'm going to push back, so I need to stay on the back. I'm going to push back, tap outside foot, I'm going to rock, and I'm going to lean forward. I'm going to push, tap outside foot, come back, stay squeezing glutes, push, come back, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. I'm going to do 10 on each side, so that means 20 high push or high planks. As I exhale, I'm going to push back. Good, my arms stay straight the whole time, so I never let my elbows bend as I rock forward, as I go back. The last 10 I'm going to do off the blocks. So I lean forward, come to a high plank, and push back. 1, 2. So I'm getting a little bit of a reach, a little bit of a twist here as I push out of my arm that's on the ground. So right now, right arm pushes out, left arm reaches across. Squeeze glutes, high plank. Last 6. Last 4. Last 2. Good. And then we stop. So from here, we're gonna go finishing strong with a little bit of shoulders, then we're gonna take that pigeon stretch to finish. So finishing with the shoulders, we're gonna do arms reach out and we're gonna lift our arms up. I'm gonna start a timer so I'm not gonna be able to see. So timer starting, so we're gonna lay down on our face. Legs are gonna press down. I'm gonna reach out with my head on the ground, reach out of my shoulders, squeeze my ribs, and then I'm lifting my arms up. Keep extending forward out of your shoulders and keep lifting. Ribs are in, glutes are squeezing, legs are pressing down, holding. Flexing triceps. So I'm flexing my triceps, almost there. So now we're gonna stop. From here, we're gonna do what's called pinch. So I'm gonna tuck my hips under like I was doing before. I'm gonna press through my arms and I'm gonna pull my ribs off the ground. So just like we would do in our hollow body, I'm gonna push, reaching my arms out and push the ground away as hard as I can. So ready, set, timer's gonna start, lay down, and here we go, begin. Pushing, ribs up. Out of that one, you're going to take child's pose. Just let the head rest. We're going to do one more with arms out like wings. All right, so here we go with arms out like wings. So same thing, lay down on the ground. Tuck your hips under. Head stays flat, arms lift up, strong legs, keep trying to lift them up and out. I'm reaching out and up. Try to squeeze your ribs. Lift up higher, 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 higher. And stop. So from here, we're gonna move into our half pigeon. So I recommend putting a block underneath your glute. You're gonna bring right leg forward, left leg back, squaring the hips, block or pillows underneath your glute. Or to sit up nice and tall to begin. So for the first 30 seconds, we're gonna stay lifted. I'm driving my right glute down, I'm driving my left glute down, I'm squeezing my glutes, I'm staying lifted. Deep breaths. I'm lifting through my chest as I'm trying to arch back almost, or just lean back. Doesn't even have to be an arch, just pushing back. You're gonna give me 3 more breaths here, and then we're gonna fold forward. You're gonna take 1 more breath in. On your exhale, now fold forward over that shin. You can use blocks, pillows, anything to let your head support. Take 3 more breaths. You're gonna inhale, rise up. If you're still sitting on that block, remove the block. We're going to take a little hip flexor stretch or internal rotation. I'm just going to pull my left knee in line with my left hip. If it feels better, you can keep sitting on a block. If that keeps you feeling a little bit more stacked, like this helps me a little bit, I'm just going to sit up for a moment, pushing this left hip down. We're only going to be here for a short period. If you ever want to go deeper, try pulling this right knee into you. If I'm sitting flat on the ground, I can bring my right hand by my hip and pull back. Sitting up nice and tall. Trying to lean and bring weight into this left hip. And then we're gonna switch sides. So you're just gonna bring that left leg around. We're gonna take that half pigeon that we were just in, slide that right leg back, stack that block underneath this left glute if you needed to sit up tall, squaring the hips. And we're here for about 30-45 seconds, sitting up nice and tall, pushing down through that back right shin, lifting our heart, trying to find length here. Take 2 more breaths. And on your exhale, folding forward over that shin, over the calf. One more breath in, one more breath out. And then you're gonna rise on up. You're gonna slide that right knee out in line with right hip. So it's almost like an S or 2 right angles. We're gonna sit up nice and tall, pushing through this left arm, trying to get our heart and hips stacked. People with really good internal rotation, they might not feel anything here. The right glute fit down. I have tight internal rotation, so this is like one of the things that I need to work on to take this deeper. I can grab my right left knee and pull it to me as I try to sit down on that right hip, keeping my chest lifted. Just like 30 more seconds, and then we're all done with day 2, and then you're gonna repeat this 2 or 3 times today in one sitting. Since of the social distancing, you know, you got plenty of time, so I would like you to do 3 sets of everything that we did, to really give it time to start to open, to start really feeling what each exercise is trying to create. We go through everything one time through, and then add and just see how the body starts to difference each time. See if it starts to get a little bit looser. Coming out of this, just bring your legs around, feet hip distance, just windshield wiper, letting the knees left and right drop. So that is all for day 2. Repeat this 3 times is what I really want. Have a beautiful day.